traditional marketing versus social media marketing. What would you say is the bigger difference between the traditional marketing and the social media marketing?
Cost is so expensive. When I remember we would do town hall meetings when I was working for a congressman. He'd come back into town and he'd want to go into a city and just have a town hall meeting. We'd pull out, we'd spend it was like $800 for a 1-day quarter page ad in a local newspaper. And we're not talking like, we're not in Los Angeles or Houston. We're talking about small town Indiana. And so it was expensive to let people know what we were doing. And again, it was just one way. TV was crazy expensive. Radio ads are expensive. And also you can't measure it. And so today with social media, you can target so far down into like, who is my real audience? And let's find just those people. You can go into Facebook groups. Now, this is not, we're typically, when we say social media marketing, we think about making posts on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter.
But there is networking.
But you can go into a Facebook group, and these groups might already be groups you're a part of already. Think about who is your audience, where are they hanging out online. You're probably a part of some of these Facebook groups that already have your ideal audience. Get in there and serve those folks. That's going to be a great source of leads. You're a fisherman, Stephen. You know how to talk a lot of, use the fishing analogy. Throw your lines into those Facebook groups and just serve those folks. And people are going to find you and like, wow, he's really helpful on this topic. They're going to stalk you online. They're going to find your Facebook profile. They're going to see at the top that you have a lead magnet. They have some free offer. By the way, a little tip, you can customize your personal Facebook profile to each group that you're in. If you have questions about that, just email me, ryan@ryanrieger.com. We can do a separate video on how to do that, but it's pretty slick.
Couldn't do that with the old radio ad.
Yeah, you cannot do that with an old radio. So it's just customizable, the engagement. So, I mean, cheaper, sometimes free, most of the time free, customizable, and you can interact with your customer. So it's far superior, in my opinion, for running a business and getting the word out.
Yeah, the old way of media, the TV, the radio, the newspaper ad, I don't know what those costs were back in the day. Maybe they were less expensive, but they are definitely getting a lot more expensive nowadays versus the things that replaced it. Like YouTube is kind of replacing the TV now. Podcasts, I think, is replacing the radio. Blogs is kind of replacing the newspapers. And then social media is just like a whole new way to interact with people. It's very interesting. Even on blogs now, they have like the little comment section down at the bottom. Whereas before, if you like read a newspaper ad, there's no way to talk to the person that wrote that ad unless you wrote a letter back to the paper. And what's the chances of that person reading it and then get back to you? Like,
right.
Nowadays, it's so much easier to interact with people. The old way of marketing, it was just one way, like you keep saying. Whereas nowadays, even a YouTube video, if I make like this will be on a podcast and this will be a video. You can comment on the bottom and we will see that comment and we'll more than likely interact with you. It's a wild thing that we're moving into this digital age, that you can communicate with people. Whereas the old media is, you're not communicating with them. The people that made your favorite show, you're not going to be able to talk to them unless you go to some con or something like that. Whereas the YouTube video that you see this on, you can comment right now from the comfort of your own home directly to us. It's wild to see that.
Yeah, I can't imagine building a business 50 years ago where you had to, get customers and not, if email wasn't around. I don't know how, it'd be so much harder. I mean, I'm sure there's certain things that were easier about it, but just the online businesses have changed everything and made it so much easier for people to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, especially with like, if you had a very specific, like fishing product for me, I like different fishing lures. The chances of a company that makes that to interact with me, what do is you just get radio and hopefully I'm listening to whatever radio station is on. Like it seems so wild where you're just like completely shotgunning. Whereas now you can, like you said, be on a little bit more of the offensive. You can go to those Facebook groups. You can go to different Instagram places and see like who is talking about this. Where are the watering holes for this thing that I like? And let's see what other people are in.
It'd be kind of a fun episode to do. Like, okay, imagine we're back in 1950s and we have a business. What would you do with 2022 thinking? I mean, we could brainstorm right now. It'd be kind of fun. I mean, what would you do if you were in 1955 and you had a fishing bait and tackle type of business? a mail order. Maybe you had a brick and mortar, but you also had mail order fishing lures. How would you acquire customers without having to do, or maybe we say we're in the 70s where there's more TVs. So
Make it a little
your
easier.
options are TV, radio, newspaper. How would you get in front of people? I mean, I can think of some things I might do that were a lot outside the box, but you
I think the
obviously would
TV
want
was
to
big.
acquire those customers. You want to
Yeah.
acquire those email addresses. They don't have email, so you want to acquire mailing
Mailing
addresses and phone
addresses.
numbers. How would you get mailing addresses? I don't know. Maybe I would be attending conventions. I'd maybe put my own fishing convention on. So you're going to have to advertise that that's happening. So it's going to cost you money to get people to your fishing convention. I would partner up with other. Well, this is not the point of this episode, but I'd be partner up with other. Who else has?
I enjoy this because I think this can be future episodes. We do a lot of this brainstorming where it's just like, here's a hypothetical, let's see. But I like the idea of having it a challenge where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked to people, we consistently have calls with small businesses, and we're just listening to their pain points and then try to brainstorm and help them. I think that's extremely valuable to have it in an open setting like this, where we have, and maybe if that's you, go to wingman.com. I'll now after this episode, I'll try to put something together. We can capture an email. So if you'd like to be on the podcast and have a pain point, reach out to us and we'll set something up like that where we can have you on the pod, go, what kind of business do you have? How can we brainstorm with you and come up with a solution for this problem, both in a solo entrepreneur and a hand this off? Because I think this is maybe another thing. As we're having calls with people, I don't think they understand or how easy it is to have a VA hand that stuff off. I think like me, we talked about this before on previous episodes. It just seemed so crazy that I could hand this work off. I don't trust this person. Are they going to be able to do it at my level? And then go, oh, they're doing it way better than me, especially with the social media where it's like, look how long it's taking me, where I can hand this off to somebody and just get done in the background and I never have to think of it. This is a reality, and it's not thousands of dollars to do it. Like over the full year, it's very cost effective to have VAs help you in your business, checking your email. There's all kinds of wild things that we can help you with.
For sure. To do. Yeah. Back to the idea of so you think of the Dream 100 strategy would still work. So you'd be thinking about who else has my audience. So find somebody else that in the fishing niche that has a large mailing address list, partner up with them in some creative way. Maybe they'll do a mailing for you and you split the profits. Yeah, we could still do it.
I think harder. Even like co-creating is so interesting to me. Like find Penn, who's a big reel company, find a way to sell packs with your products in there. I don't know if Apollo or anybody has done that. I would assume yes, but that to me would be like the go-to. I know this company sells reels, selling the half of what you need to have my product. I need to partner up with them. I need to find some way to get my products to them, even because then you could sell directly to them and then they could sell your product, which would make it even easier for you.
So are you a small business owner feeling overworked, overwhelmed when it comes to social media marketing? If you found this video helpful, we would love to come alongside you and help you become an unfrazzled entrepreneur. Click the link below or just go to wingmanvas.com and check out how we can help you get your time back.